Hey everyone, so in this episode of Make It with Calvin, we're going to be talking about a new feature I found in Fusion 360. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly about it. So strap on in, it's going to be a wild ride. So recently I discovered this new setting under the Mesh tab in Fusion 360, which allows you to import a mesh, in this case an STL, and convert it into a body. Now, let's just say this thing, it works and then it doesn't work. And I'm definitely not saying it's garbage or anything, but I'm definitely saying is be prepared to have some issues. So let's dive into it. So for the longest time, one of my biggest complaints with a lot of files on Thingiverse is the designers are very smart and they designed them to be printed flat or in pieces, which is awesome for printing things on an FDM printer. But if you're like me and you end up sending out a lot of work to be professionally done for various reasons, time and quality being one of them, it's kind of frustrating trying to combine everything together and then ship it out. So what I recently discovered was the Convert Mesh tab in here, and this is both great and also a royal pain in the butt. Let me explain why. It's nice because I can import an STL, of which this Genbach JW15 that I found on Thingiverse was in pieces. The body, the base, the two sides, and the front and end bumpers were all their own separate files. This hood piece, that piece, that piece. You get the idea. It was a bunch of pieces. So I was able to import them into Fusion and then one by one convert each mesh into a body. But one thing that is kind of frustrating is currently the only method that I've found that works for converting bodies, and mind you, everybody's probably going to have a different time with this. One of the biggest issues is it tends to make every single triangle its own face. I think in the future it'll get better, and I've tried using various methods, but this is the one that has really only worked reliably for me. So it's a little bit annoying, but you know what? I'll live with it. Mostly what I want to do is to be able to join corners together and pretty much assemble the item as I go along. So in this case, this little bracing strip, this body here, and this seat were three separate components that all got combined into one and then got exported. Now, one of the things that is kind of frustrating is sometimes when you go to do the combine command, it will not combine things together, like in the case of the firewall and the hood top. All of those components went fine, but the firewall never allowed it to be joined together, which was really frustrating. So that made exporting things a little bit more difficult. It is what it is. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is when things get exported from here, scaling can become a major logistical issue. So what I highly recommend doing is exporting the file, pulling it into your slicer. So in this case, I've got the base here, which is in the sizing that I want. I will go File, Export Models. I'm just going to override the original file. But the problem is this one, I believe, if I recall correctly, if I go to Tools, Repair, Identify Non-Manifold Edges. Yeah. There's some, you'll see the red lines. Those are non-manifold edges. Actually, that isn't as bad as I thought. But you're going to want to fix that. So what I do is I then take that file. Whoops. Going over here into 3D Builder. Now that I've got the file, tell it yes, I want it in communist units, hit import model. Now you'll see the red box around it which says one or more objects are invalidly defined. Click here to repair. The repair function does not fix everything. No repair function is perfect, but it works. So I hit save. Yes, I know 3DMF is better, but everything that I use likes STL. Close that out. So now if I come back and re-import the file, I go to repair, identify, yeah, model is manifold and has package all checks. So it's good. So now this file is ready to be either sent out or printed by yourself. So as you can see, now it will behave more like a solid piece. And if we pull this into the slicer, we will see that yes, it is behaving as one solid print. If it did not, obviously this edge would have no info right there. It'd have a bunch of lines. So it does work. And like I said, it's not perfect. It has a ways to go. This is not a cure-all, but I figured it was worth doing a quick video on because it's really proven helpful for me. One thing I will say is, though, there are quite a lot of times where I'll be working on this and Fusion just freezes. I'm not sure if it's my computer or it's my internet connection or what. So pretty much make it a habit after you do something to save it. Save often, save frequently. It doesn't hurt, just in case it freezes and you lose some work that you were doing. Believe me, it's painful because there's quite a lot of times I've had to go Control-Alt-Delete, open up Task Manager, and just force quit Fusion. Wait a minute, jump back in there, and things went okay. Just keep that in mind. So I hope you guys found this useful. I'll see you here next time on Make It with Calvin.